Welcome to the fourth part of this video series, and in this video we are going to get into the further details, adding further details on the suit. And so I will be telling you those steps as I move forward in the video. I won't be able to tell you what are the things which you will be learning in this video, but yes, we are going to add details on the model slowly. For that I am using masking. Control drag onto the leg, then inverse the mask by control tap on the empty of the canvas. Then we are going to look at the deformation tab. By deformation tab you can see there are many options. I'm checking out the different things which I can do. So I have checked out the size and bend option, but they are not working, so I am using the inflate option. You can see that there is in the corner there is XYZ, and that means we are scaling or inflating in that XYZ axis at the same time. And now for increasing the resolution, just go to the Dynamesh option, then increase the resolution and control drag on the empty of the canvas to reproject the Dynamesh once again. So as you can see, by doing that simple step, by just creating a mask and going to the deformation tab and inflating the mesh, means I have inverted the mesh also, inverted the mask also, but by just inflating it you can create these kinds of line or these kinds of separation in different object, for different object, but they are combined in the same model. So basically this is the trick which I was going to tell you about in this part, and you can use it in a different way in any part of the model. So for that you just have to create a mask, then invert that mask, and you can just inflate it or bend it. Means you can check out the other options which are there in the deformation tab. They are very helpful. So yes, we are finally getting introduced with the deformation tab, and here you can see I am using damp under brush. So in the same way I'm just creating the crease which are usually there when we wear pants or any character wear pants. They are the crease which make the feel of transition between the hip and the thighs. So you should, whenever you are making a character, you should make sure that these creases and these main features are available in those characters, because these things make a character believable or more attractive to look at, because a certain crease can give it a very detailed kind of feel. So make sure to look at some of the main features which make that character more believable. Just like that I've just added a crease, and then we will move to the other part. And similarly, if you are going to use the trick, means the deformation trick, you can use it, or you can use the lazy mouse option, or you can use the lazy mouse option is there in the stroke panel, means stroke menu. You can check out the last video which I have uploaded regarding this, means in the same series, last video. Then you will see that where is the lazy mouse option, or else my way of doing the sculpt, I just use damp under brush and just make creases. And this is control shift. I have separated this part. This is not separated this part with the model in a whole, but for the visual purposes we have separated this model. This is this part to look at it from different angles by holding control shift, and I'm just creating a crease by using damp under brush. In the similar way, if you have gone to the other videos in the same series, you will be able to understand this thing, because last video which I have uploaded regarding this contains a full description or full preview for the other type of creases which I have created in this. So as you can see, I have turned on this means the symmetry is turned on, but now I have to create a part, and this part will be a asymmetrical part, means that will not be symmetrical. So I have turned on the symmetry, turned off the symmetry, and I will just make that part. I have applied Control Z because by accidentally I have just sculpted with the symmetry turned off in the armpits of the character. But for this part I am just creating a mask by holding Control key, and this part actually I have corrected it in the later videos, but for now I am not editing this part for making you see that there are ways, there are things which you will not be able to find at the correct moment, that how you can make that part. So means this thing I have done this thing or corrected this thing in a different way in the later part of the videos, means in the later part of this series. So you can see that in the next video I think, but for now I have not edited this thing, and I am creating I am creating a cavity kind of shape. Now I know how I have created that shape, but when I was creating this part I just thought of this way of creating, and this way by this way I faced some problems, which obviously if you are a beginner you will also face. Means it doesn't depend on whether you are a beginner or not, but sometimes it happens that you just face some problems randomly. So I've just created the mask, then inverted the mask, and I'm using the same trick, inflating. But you will see that this step is kind of wrong, means kind of wrongly done by me, but I have corrected this in the next part. I have pressed Ctrl W here for making a polygroup of a separate polygroup from that mask area. That's why I'm holding Ctrl Shift and clicking on that part. That's why I'm able to separate that polygroup in a different parts. Now I am splitting that part by clicking Split Hidden button, then Control Drag, and you can see Dynamesh is applied, but I'm facing the issue at that moment. I'm just figuring out how I can make that part in a correct way, but I will rectify it in some way for now. But the thing is, we can use I will show you the correct way of creating this part in my later videos, but for now you can see that I also face these kinds of problems. Means I have not memorized each and every step, that how I can make this shape, how I can make that shape. I just use the amount of knowledge or the amount of understanding at that particular moment and just do the sculpt. And as I have told you every time, that there are a lot of tools in ZBrush for making you to do a certain kind of sculpt, but sometimes it just come to that point that what type of tools you have remembered or you are comfortable with doing these kind of steps. So as you can see, I'm just messing around with that part. I'm just sculpting it by control, means clay builder brush in the inverse way, means by holding Alt you can sculpt inverse. So I'm just messing this shape more, but you will see in the later video that how this part get a more cleaned look by just doing some simple steps. Then I have turned on the separated part, means the eye of the separated part. Then I will just use different methods, and you can see my ZBrush got crashed, and I will reload it because by the recover tool. Sometimes it also happens that you get a crash from ZBrush, because I was making a mess over here. So again, we just selected that part. Then I just wanted a glass kind of shape, a glass kind of part with this separated part. So I'm just smoothing it. Then I will do the rest of the experiment to make it a clean mesh. But later on I have corrected that thing in a proper way. I thought of editing this part, that why should I show you the part which I have done wrong in this video, but I thought let's show you that it's not like that I don't make mistakes. Everybody make mistakes, but we should learn how to correct them. So I just added this part that I'm messing around with the model. Actually this feels like I'm messing around with the model, but at that moment when I was sculpting this, I felt like I'm doing the most beautiful thing in the world. So for now you can see I have left that separated part and I have moved on, because at that moment I was not able to think how I can make this separation or this part beautiful. So I just left it there and I have moved on. Then later on I have again came to this part, then worked on it, and again I am doing masking. There are different ways for creating this kind of shape. Basically I'm going to create a button kind of shape here, but yes, there are many ways. I will definitely tell you about all these things in my later videos in a proper way and in a beautiful way. But for now you can see that making a mistake and correcting them is a natural thing. However, means how it doesn't depend on how experienced you are. You just make mistakes sometime. So feel free to make mistakes. Just make a model, just make a sculpt, just make an illustration. Mistakes are there every now and then you will feel like, oh, how bad this model looks, how I can improve this. Instead of crying over it, that how bad it looks, just try to think that how I can make this model look beautiful. Then you will figure out eventually, and give yourself some space to think about the process. Means you just have to think about the things, the tools you have learned, the features you have seen, the things you can do about this step. Sometimes it happens that there are just some simple steps which you can do, means which you are familiar already, and you can't figure out at that particular moment when you are facing the problem, but after some time or after giving yourself some space, you found out, you eventually remember those steps and or those things, those memories, and you just be able to create that thing with your memory. Here you can see I have left uncorrected part here, and I will correct that thing in my later videos. But for now we are moving forward and we will meet in the next video. So stay tuned and keep watching. Thank you for watching the video.